Now, if I had a G clef here, this would be the key of G. If I had an F clef here, this would be the key of B. If I had an alto clef here, which would be right there, then this would be the key of G. No, F. So what would happen is, depending on what clef I put over here, this would be in a different key. So I'm not going to go into clefs right now or explain clefs. But different clefs just give a name to one of those lines or spaces. And based on that single name, we then work out where all the names to the lines and spaces are, and then we can drop the notes down and then talk about them in terms of ABCs. But since I don't use ABCs because that's too hard. And the other problem with the ABCs is there are 17 spellings for one pentatonic scale, where using numbers, there's only one spelling for all of the pentatonic scales. So you have a better chance of hearing the numbers than you will trying to figure this out in ABC unless you have perfect pitch. If you have perfect pitch, it's actually easier to do the other way. But do you see what the process we went through? Does everybody see the process? Okay, I'm going to do this just one more time.
Can I have a question?
Yes.
See, you was back at introduction.
That's right.
Well, you had some dots that were in between the lines. Some of the dots
Were
were
on
on the
lines,
line
yes.
in the middle, and then some were on top.
Yes.
Now, if one line has two sides, as you said,
Right.
then what's going on with dots that are in the middle of the line
Well,
and go below it? It still has
The way it works is, and let's explain the staff very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another way of regarding the staff is a series of stairs, stair steps. And if you think of it this way, imagine this is a stair step right here. And then that line is a stair step, and then this space is a stair, and that line is a stair, and this space is a stair, and that line is a stair, and this space is a stair, etc., etc. Mention it with stair steps. And imagine that I said right here, that line was the number 1, step number 1. So then this space here, that would be step number 2. This is step 1, step 2. Then this line here would be step 3. This space would be 4, and that line would be 5, and this would be 6, and that would be 7. And then what happens is, since we only have 7 notes in the system, we start counting all over again. So this space here would be a high 1. High 1. And what we do is when I'm drawing it out, just as numbers, I usually put a little line over the top of it, so I know it's an upper 1 rather than a normal 1. So we're just going up and down the stairs. Every line is like a clothesline that you can hang birds on. If you ever watch that TV commercial with the guy trying to make up a song, and then he looks outside and he sees the birds on this on the telephone pole, and he plays the birds, and it's a pretty good piece. So right? That's kind of what's happening here, right? The birds on the wire, sort of thing. Now, any line or any space can be the number 1. The thing is that, again, everybody's got a different vocal range, or they're playing on a different instrument, and they all have a different bandwidth. So to get them to fit on the staff, I might have to move this number 1 to a different location. And if I do, well, all I'm doing is moving it, say I move it here. And I make this spot here 1. So then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be a 6 going up there. Then counting backwards, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, put a line there, 2, under that line would be 1. Okay. So it just continues, it's just, we're stair stepping up and down. Every line in every space is the next one. Yeah, now what it turns out it's actually easier to learn to read if you just do every other number. Turns out the best way to learn to read music by number is every other number. If this line here is the number 1, the next one will be 3, the next line will be 5, the line above that will be 7, 2 lines above that will be 2, 2 lines above that will be the number 4, lines above that will be the number 6, line above that, we'll go back with another 1, and odd, even, and we'll So what you'll have is, going from line to line to line to line, you'll have 1, 3, 5, 7, all the odd numbers first, and then the even numbers, 2, 4, and 6, and then it starts over. 1, 3, 5, 7.